everybody. It's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Chicks TV. I am here to get into Porsha and her ghetto ass family mattering tonight. Um, up real quick. I know I pushed this live up 30 minutes. I apologize if you couldn't make it because I pushed it up and you have to watch it on the rewatch. But I forgot tonight is the Alabama. Hey, you ain't never tell me your name, ILL71, because you know I be wanting to call you Illinois girl. But hey, girl. Um, the Alabama Georgia game come on in an hour, and so I had to push this up 30 minutes. Y'all know I'm rocking out for Georgia, and my son took all his Georgia stuff back to college with him, so all I got is my trusty Atlanta Falcons stuff. So let's get into Porsha so I can go ahead and get me my wings, my good Stella rolls, and I can get back and watch this game in an hour. Up first, the episode opened with the whole fight. We saw from beginning to end. Porsha claimed there's some clips out there we ain't see. I don't know what, but we saw from beginning to end. I'm about to tell you what I saw. Y'all get in the comments and tell me if I missed something, if I saw something wrong. You know I wear these trusty glasses. So let's start it off. Number one, Porsha said, y'all can get the fuck out. She tired of you telling my cousin to shut the fuck up, even though Storm needed to shut the fuck up. Yeah, she's a hot mess. The number one I didn't understand is why was Porsha and Storm guarding the exit? If you want these people to leave, security is over there. Security could have told them to get up and leave, and y'all could have stayed in y'all seats, and then none of this would have happened. But then if this wouldn't have happened, Porsha wouldn't have had no show. Moving on. So Porsha and Storm are standing by the exit. They're arguing. What the fuck you still doing here? Well, you still here for 4 days. Then it's like, I ain't want to be here no way. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. Porsha started this fight. If you disagree, put it in the comments. But from Angie's eyeballs, Porsha started this fight. I don't know what they were saying on the stairs, what Mama Gina might have said to Porsha. Porsha said, I heard what you said. You heard what I said, and lunged at Mama Gina. That's when Dennis stuck his arm out. And I don't know, in the process of him sticking his arm out between Porsha and Mama Gina, if he accidentally touched Porsha or brushed up against her. But that touch is Porsha's trigger. And mind you, I feel like Porsha and Dennis, the way they were fighting so freely and casually right there on the family trip, Porsha had been beating up on Dennis for a while. This was not the first time, and it wasn't nothing new. But move on from that. That's what caused Porsha to start swinging. So Porsha is now swinging on Dennis. I got a little tweet. Let me pull up my tweet real quick. That ain't the one. That ain't the one. I should have had these labeled. This is what I said last night when I saw the fight. I said, period. I don't care who you are. If you put your hands on my mother, Miss Evangeline, I'm beating your ass. And that's on period. So Porsha better be happy Dennis ain't one of these thugs who don't give a fuck if it's a camera there or not, who would have laid you out. Most men, after all that swinging, and your whole family jumped him, would have laid one of them out. But let's move on past that. But Porsha needs an ass whooping. I don't know if Dennis has a sister, a female cousin, a younger auntie. You talk about somebody need to catch a fade. You want to fight my mama, you deserve that fade, Porsha. So now Auntie Liz is like, what she say, spiritual leader, you need to be leading. Lauren gets up to try to break it up. Once Porsha starts swinging on Dennis, I can see in Lauren's eyes that she knows Porsha started this shit because she's grabbing Dennis like, calm down, calm down. And Dennis is like, she lunged at my mama, yo. And she like, I know, but just calm down. And the confirmation that Porsha wanted to fight his mama came from her mouth, where she's back there throwing plates, throwing glasses, Where the fuck is his bitch ass mama? Where's his mama? And I'm like, she really going for his mama. So I was shocked. The whole fight, my mouth was like this at the TV. I couldn't believe it. So now she throwing plates and all this other bullshit. Darlene some kind of way falls. I don't think I didn't see Dennis push Darlene. If anything, I kind of saw Dennis trying to help Darlene get up. But Darlene was also one of the ones trying to hold back Dennis from the commotion. And she fell. When Darlene fell is when I saw Lauren give Dennis 2 quick pops to the head. Then Storm came from behind Dennis and started swinging. Then Darlene got up and started swinging. And another family member, I don't know their name, it was 4 women jumping on Dennis. And I'm like, okay. All the Williams were sitting at the table. You know, us Williams got class. But it seemed like that Mama Diane side of the family is, I don't want to say Decatur made, but they are Decatur made. They seem kind of ghetto, and they all were jumping Dennis, and I didn't understand why. So let's move on through these notes. After, I guess, everyone must have thought Dennis did something to get Darlene on the floor where it looked like she just fell on the floor in the commotion. Porsha gets some kind of production equipment. It looked heavy as hell and starts swinging it around her head. And I'm like, girl, that reminded me of, what's her girl name? She live in Atlanta now. Malaysia. When she threw that table at Jennifer's head, I'm just thinking, Porsha, if you would have connected that pole to anyone's head, they would have had your life. You think you paying for their life now by giving a little TV gig. They would have had all your coins if you would have hit somebody in the head with that pole. That white production guy looked scared. He was like, Porsha, girl, give me that. What is she doing? It looked like Porsha then is now fighting Simon because Simon is trying to hold her back. And she was like, let me go. Let me go. And I'm like, what? What is going on here? And so finally Dennis leaves. Porsha still can't get herself together. She doing that hump thing on her back that she did every season when they had to hold her on her back with Kenya. They had to hold her on her back with Cynthia. And now she on her back with Dennis. Girl, I recall when Candy said, you doing this anger management just for the show? Because, girlfriend, your anger don't look managed. You need to go get your money back from whoever you sat down with on this show. This was not a good look, Porsha. I don't know what you were going for here, wanting to blend families and stuff. Let's just move on. So now that Dennis has left, the Karening begins. Porsha becomes one of the first Black Karens I've ever seen in my life. Dom is over there banging on the counter. He can't believe what just went on. Porsha is crying. He touched my family. He touched my family. I ain't seen nobody touch nobody but you. You were the only one I saw with licks connecting you, Lauren, and Storm. But hey, Dom just wants a moment. Auntie Liz comes over there and starts praying, talking about the devil and the enemy is not going to take hold of this family. I'm like, Auntie Liz, you praying to the enemy. You praying to the devil of this situation. Auntie Liz, I rock with you, but in that moment, you should have checked Porsha in that moment. I'm kind of over it. Let's kind of get through these notes. I got to keep watching time because, like I said, the game is more important than this foolishness. I don't understand how Simon is so unbothered. This whole time, he just worried about wear Porsha's shoes so she don't step on any of these glass plates that she broke. I don't want her stepping in that. You shouldn't have been wanting her breaking this shit. Matter of fact, who paying for this mess that Porsha created? Swinging poles and throwing plates. Who is? I hope production sent you, Simon and Porsha, the bill. because that was a mess. You done told these people good boutique hotel that they come let y'all film in. You can't never go back. I'm surprised they ain't put all of y'all out that night. Let me look at these comments real quick. Porsha's still in love with Dennis, but she's in love with the money that Simon provides. I don't believe that she's in love with Simon. She's with him because of financial comforts that he provides. Porsha can financially comfort herself. If we're going to be real. Simon doesn't provide Porsha anything that she can't acquire for herself. Porsha is with Simon because she thought it was going to make Dennis jealous, but Dennis is probably very happy to be done with Porsha. He just wants to fuck up on Porsha. That's about it. So that her scheme that Todd set up to bring Dennis the bullshit didn't work. Now she mad because Dennis brought his work to the beach. Yes, Chris, this episode was a mess. Why did she have all those people who were not family or connected to Pilar there? I don't know. And what's really sad is that this stuff is, the internet is forever. Your daughter, one day is going to see you beating up her daddy. And then you're going to have to sit there and explain, oh, well, he touched the family. But Pilar going to be like, well, Mama, I ain't see him touch anybody. It's a mess. It is a mess. Porsha is crying. Porsha is talking about, I want Dennis and his bitch ass mama arrested. I want them to sit in the Mexican jail. And I'm like, bitch, you were the only one swinging. Production had Dennis in the grabs like this. He couldn't even move his arms. But what pissed me off about that statement is later on in the episode, Porsha want to talk about, I'm for the movement, I'm an activist, and I'm not here for black men just be put in jail unwarrantedly, and I'm not here for black men being harassed by the police. But bitch, you here for this black man to go sit in a Mexican jail for a fight you started, and you were the only one swinging. Porsha is a hypocrite. She's dumb, superficial. I know she dumb because she thought this show was going to be a good look. I don't know anybody who quits all of their jobs, throws away all of their forms of income to sit on their show and ruin their own reputation to the point where I don't know what other job you about to pick up after this. Don't nobody want to be in that kind of liability situation. Don't no production company want to sit up and have to hold you back and your triggers every time you get on the TV screen. Girl, no. Let's move on. I said Porsha is embarrassment. And then she had the nerve at the end of it to call everybody animals, which is another negative stereotype that white people like to throw at black people. I really feel like Porsha turned into a whole Karen. Look at these animals. They can go sit in the bitch, you were the only animal I saw on my TV screen. You were the only one who couldn't be controlled. Let's move on. So the next day, Lauren takes everybody out on an excursion. I don't want to talk nothing about that bullshit Lauren been doing. Lauren, go back to just prayer and Jesus, because your meditation ain't working on the Williams family. But let's move on. The only thing I care about that scene is that production had to step in and say, y'all just gonna act like yesterday didn't happen. We ain't gonna talk about you just whooping up your baby daddy's ass and trying to fight his mama. And they like, oh, Porsha told us. They ain't say Porsha. They said, we got a text to not talk about that. And he was like, well, who texted you? And they looking at Porsha like. And then Porsha then says to production, are we done wrapping this scene or not? And they were like, it's a wrap. And then she gets up and leaves. Like, fuck what you talking about. If I say we ain't talking about it, we ain't talking about it. This is my show. But, oh no. Production shows Porsha. Let me find my next tweet. Forgive me, y'all. I ain't got them in order. Okay, this is where it is. I retweeted this yesterday. After Porsha checked that producer and didn't give up any tea, I know that is where they determined this show was going to show how messy her ass really is. Yes. Once Porsha gave production her ass to kiss, they said, oh, okay, you ain't going to talk about it. Well, we're going to show every second of you and your clown overflated ass showing out on Bravo. We're going to show every second of it. Do y'all think any of the girls after watching this, I know Kenya was at home laughing, getting her life, saying, I told you so, I knew it all along. Mind you, Kenya got her own bullshit that I don't fuck with Kenya with, but I know she was laughing. I know Todd and Candy was just sitting back there shaking their head like, we told y'all this bitch ain't had no anger management. Do you think these ladies would say, okay, let Porsha come back and get her peach? Because I'm telling you, Porsha, you done quit all your jobs, and I don't see this show getting a season 2. Especially after the way you check production, like you ain't talking about shit. Now, production must have told Porsha, bitch, if you want to get paid, you better talk about this shit at the white dinner. Because at the white dinner, she want to talk about it and give us a lesson in gaslighting 101. It took me forever to... The young people had to explain to me what gaslighting was. It took me forever to figure that shit out. But what Porsha did the remainder of this episode from the white party on is gaslighting 101. So Simon opens up the conversation. Mind you, Simon is the only person not in all white, but he opens up the conversation with, he's proud of everyone for the work that they've accomplished at this retreat. And as I said, Simon, the only thing these people have done is made good, messy drama TV. They haven't done what you proud of. They ain't did nothing but take Porsha and her family 10 steps back from where she was trying to recover her image. And then he says, don't let this fight take away all of the work you all have accomplished this week or weekend, however long it was there. And I'm like, what have they accomplished? Simon, it's clear Simon hasn't been to any of the family events because he don't know what's going on. Right, girl, they ain't accomplished anything. They ain't do nothing but waste Bravo money. Simon says this fight was a 2. He talking to the cameras now. He was like, families fight all the time. I done seen a lot worse. This is a 2. And then I remember, yes, Simon used to these type of women because Fallon was running around the house with a golf club last season, and she was doing her moment with the golf club. So, you know, Simon used to this bullshit. So he talking about he's still gonna marry Porsha. He's still gonna be there for Pilar. Mind you, he ain't said nothing about his damn kids. Where are your kids? Where are your ex-wives or baby mamas? And why we not blending with them? Let's move on from that. And he says he's willing to play whatever role he got to play to stay on TV. Now, he ain't say the stay on TV part, but that's what I'm assuming that's what Simon wants. Porsha wants a ring. She just wants to be married. She just wants the comfort of a man. And Simon just wants to be on TV, so they decided to come play in our face. But Porsha, girl, you done quit all your jobs. I don't see Bravo giving you a season 2. I don't see the Housewives of Atlanta, any of those girls, they gonna pull the we scared card. You see she ain't changed. We ain't got time to be around that. I don't see them wanting to film with you. So if you lose your TV gigs, do you keep Simon? You see he left Fallon because she couldn't get a peach. If you lose all your TV gigs, do you think you get to keep Simon? I don't think so. But time will tell. So Auntie Liz says what we all are thinking. That you have to leave the past in the past. Because I believe we still at the table. Are we still at the table? I don't know. I ain't put it in my notes. But she said you got to leave the past in the past, and we should not be discussing past relationships at the table. Porsha then says, you know, her speech, her best speech. Hey, Andrew. I couldn't get over what I did last night. She didn't say that. She said, I was triggered. And I stared at the wall all night trying to think of how we could handle this differently. How about you keep your hands to yourself and none of this would have happened. But I guess she didn't think of that, keeping her hands to herself. And she said, I apologize. And if I did anything, you know, I didn't mean to do it. And I just hate the way that it ended the way that it did. I don't see Porsha and Simon staying together for a long time. I don't either. I don't see them staying together. After Bravo tells her ain't gonna be no season 2, I don't see them staying together after that. Because Simon, it was made clear when Fallon was on the show that Fallon wanted to be a friend of, to get a peach, because Simon wanted Fallon to be on TV. So if Porsha is not on TV, what does he need Porsha for? You can find, I used to live in Atlanta. You can find a girl with a big ass booty like Porsha's and a tiny ass waist on any block in Atlanta. And Atlanta is huge. There's a million blocks. So Porsha's are a dime a dozen. So if Porsha can't offer Simon TV, he can go find him another. I don't know why he would want to be with a woman who clearly likes to physically assault the men that she's with, because I guarantee you I would put money on it if we had to bet that was not the first time Porsha has laid hands on Dennis. The way Dennis is so cool with it, I'm going to get to what Dennis said later on in the episode. It makes me seem like Dennis is down for the shit too. The shit probably turns him on, but let's move on. Oh, you love my calendar? Thank you. This is my work calendar that lets me know all my paydays, because you know that's the most important thing I care about, and the federal holidays when I get off. And this is just my fun calendar where I write all the crazy shit I got to do. But thank you. Porsha and Dennis will be back together. Marlon, you think? I think if Simon leaves Porsha, they'll hook up again, but I don't think Dennis wants to be with her. We're going to get to this in 1 second. Let's hurry up and move this along. Oh, yeah, because I told y'all the game getting ready to come on. I don't want to spend all my time on Porsha and her bullshit. At some point, somebody makes a statement that they're thankful for everybody coming out to support Porsha and her family. I think Simon says this. And I want to know, why does everybody have to support Porsha and her family? It seems like Porsha is the one who has the most money. Why she ain't trying to support them? Don't everybody else have kids too? Why are we all giving all of our energies to support Porsha? I don't know, but I remember when her daughter was running away from her. Let's get to Auntie Liz. Are we there yet? Oh, no. First, we got to see Porsha lie to her mama. Let's hurry up and fast forward through this. Now, the number one thing I want to say about Porsha and her mama, them damn lemon pepper wings look good. Matter of fact, I might order me some lemon pepper wings for the game tonight. I should have ordered them. Before I started this live so I can just go pick them up. But that's besides the point. Them lemon pepper wings look good. My ass is hungry. Forgive me. Number 2, Porsha put 20 on 10 on everything that she told Mama Diane. She said Dennis walked up to Simon and said, I'm bringing a girl. Can you ask Porsha if it's okay? Lie. The lies. Dennis didn't ask Simon shit. Dennis said, I'm bringing a girl and you tell Porsha she gonna be here. He didn't ask for permission for shit. Number 2, Porsha now talking about he just brought this girl for tit for tat, and he wanted to say, look, Simon, she's still jealous because I got this girl here. And I'm like, girl, if you knew the setup, why did you fall for it? Like, if you knew the game, why did you play right into it so easily? But move on. Now all the lights go out, and I said, see, God don't like a liar. God don't like ugly. You over here bullshitting in your mama face. God said, turn the lights out. So they had to go get them some candles. Now, Mama Diane, this whole time is fucking the wings up. I think she used to portion her bullshit, and so she just sitting there listening, being the amen corner that she is. And so she said, Mama Gina got lit. She came in there telling everybody, shut up, and we can change the subject. And I'm like, Mama Gina very calmly said, why are we still talking about this? Very calmly. And then she said, Dennis told Storm, shut the fuck up, bitch. And I'm so happy production rolled back every clue. That's why I titled this video, Porsha Bravo don't like you no more. They don't like you anymore. Every lie you told your mama, they showed the clip to show that it was a lie. He said, shut the fuck up, bro. And mind you, get in the comments or in the chat and let me know if you disagree. But I'm not the type of woman that I do feel like men should not hit women. Point blank, period. Men should keep their hands to themselves. A little bit of me could see Dennis doing a windmill to get 4 girls off of him. It was 4-on-1. But men should keep their hands to themselves. But I don't mind a man cussing a woman out if that woman deserves to be cussed out. He already can't lay hands on you. But women, some of y'all deserve to be checked. Porsha, Storm, y'all deserve to be fucking checked. And if he says shut the fuck up, I don't see what was so wrong with that, especially when Storm needed to shut the fuck up. Porsha needed to shut the fuck up too. But he have a little bit more respect for Porsha. But that's just me. That's just me. If I hear a man saying shut the fuck up to another woman, I'm not just gonna be so flabbergasted. It's just me. The last thing I want to say about Porsha and her mama, I didn't understand why Porsha felt the need to lie. Mama Diane, Porsha could look up in the sky and say, Mama, the sky is orange today. It look orange and turquoise. And Mama Diane would look at it, clearly see it's fucking blue and say, yeah, baby girl, you right. Look at that booty in that dress. Mama Diane is the queen of Porsha's amen corner. And I feel like Mama Diane might have fell into that overly love thing. Like when you come from a divorced family because I did it a little bit with my son, not to that level, just a little bit, to where when you a single parent and the other parent might not be present as much, you might give them extra things for their birthday, extra things for Christmas, more surprises and, stuff like that to cover up for the fact one of the parents might not be there. I kind of feel like that's what Mama Diane did, but she did it to the over. Because to me, it looks like Porsha can't do no wrong in her mama's eyes. So Porsha should have just told her mama the truth. Let's move on. Now we're going to see the new Hosea feed, the Hungry Center. Oh, let me look at some of these comments. We're going to get to her being an embarrassment to her grandfather. Maybe she was also running away from Simon. Storm is a mess. Because Porsha doesn't want the backlash. She doesn't want the backlash, but see, Porsha thought this was her show. And she was executive producer. And she thought she can get up on this show and act a whole donkey and clip, and lay that film on the editing room floor. And production said, oh, no, ma'am. We showing it all. Kenya was right on this. I ain't gonna co-sign for Kenya being right on everything. But on this, that Porsha ain't had no anger management, that she's a violent person, and she's still ghetto and gutter and like to fight, Kenya was right about that. But I ain't never gonna say Kenya didn't deserve to be dragged across that stage for putting that bullhorn in her ear. Mama Diane probably was the same way in her younger years. I believe every bit of that. Because where'd she get it from? So we at the center. the whole time we're looking at the legacy of her grandfather, the work he's did in the community, the work he did with Martin Luther King and the civil rights movement. I said I wouldn't want Porsha to be the face or the platform for this legacy. But then I started watching the scenes more and just learning more history of her grandfather because I don't know her. I really didn't know who he was until Porsha came on the show. He's not a member of the civil rights movement that I was aware of until I heard of Porsha. Even though I had always heard of Hosea Feeds the Hungry because I used to live in Atlanta, I had heard of that. I didn't do the research to figure out who he was. But my point in saying is the one positive thing Porsha has done by being on the Bravo platform is bring awareness, more awareness and attention to Hosea Feeds the Hungry and to her grandfather. Because like I said, I would have never heard of him without Porsha's platform. But I wouldn't want her to be the face of it. She's an embarrassment. She's an embarrassment for that Williams side of the family. And it's very clear why a lot of those Williams don't fuck with Porsha. They all on Twitter talking about, yeah, she asked me to do that shit, but I said no. It's very clear that she isn't around her family the way she says she's around them. When Pilar got out that struggle, that stroller, and darted away from Auntie Liz when Auntie Liz wanted to hug her, I'm like, Auntie Liz is a stranger to Pilar. That might be her auntie, but Porsha don't have that little girl around her like that. So y'all talking about Celebrity Big Brother. Yes, yes, yes. I'm reviewing Celebrity Big Brother. I can't wait for them to release the whole cast so I can talk about it. But they have a conversation. Porsha says Mama Gina had a satisfied look on her face after everything went down. Like she was smiling and seemed satisfied that we were fighting. And I said, Mama Gina, one, wasn't anywhere to be seen through all of that mess. And two, she probably was satisfied that we finally got to see who you really are. That you finally showed your true colors. That you still a ghetto ratchet bitch. Auntie Liz says only Porsha, Simon, Dennis, and Pilar should have been on the trip. But Auntie Liz, Dennis's kids should have been on the trip too. If you all are trying to blend a family, his kids are family. That should have been the show. But see, Porsha probably ain't got the clearance because it's probably some drama with them kids' mothers, and they're like, no, they can't be on that bullshit ass show. You learned a lot of him when studying up on the civil rights movement when you were a child. I didn't. That might be my bad, but I had never heard of him until I moved to Atlanta, and I knew of Hosea Feed the Hungry and the things that they did, and I just never took the time to figure out who Hosea Williams was until Porsha got on the show, and then I learned more about who he was. But we should be learning more about our people in the civil rights movement, and we should teach our kids about them as well. Auntie Liz called Storm and Dom instigators. I said yes, they are, and they just there for camera time. Porsha said pray for her. She ain't down for the non-violence, and I said, see, get her out your own foundation, Auntie Liz. And I said this Auntie Liz gave Kenya all the confirmation that Kenya needed. Auntie Liz said, if you want to be an activist and a part of the movement, you need to do more than a few marches and hold your fist up in the air on social media. I said, now see, Kenya told us Porsha was doing this shit for TV. And I was one of the ones who read Kenya down. I said, Kenya, how dare you talk about somebody activism? If you ain't out there in the streets marching, shut the fuck up. I was going off on Kenya for talking down on what Porsha was doing. But her own auntie saying it, Kenya, I take that. Now, I take that back, Kenya. I'm going to take that back from you. That's the only thing I'm going to take back. I shouldn't have went off on you last season when you was reading Porsha for activism and them bullshit ass activism parties where it looks like if there was no camera involved, Porsha was not there. And her own family member said it. So Let's move on. The whole time Porsha is talking to her auntie, she had a smirk on her face. So I believe everything Auntie Liz said to her went one ear and out the other. So let's move on. They talking about Dennis and his bullshit in the basement. I don't care nothing about that. I want to know why you are a multimillionaire and your basement looks like an episode of Hoarders. Why you got bullshit down there that should have been in the trash? Why haven't you renovated this basement and made it a nice, cool little, hangout space? Even Sheree done put her damn basement together. But moving on. She claimed all she found was a bag of socks. Who has a bag? Excuse me. Still a little bit of lingering cough. It's been getting a whole lot better. Who just had... I wouldn't give a fuck about none of that. I guess somebody got on the phone and said, them Dennis plates, that's his tax papers. Girl, give Dennis his shit. Matter of fact, Dennis don't want none of that shit because Dennis has a fully furnished apartment. You can't tell me he ain't got no other plates to eat off on. The only thing Dennis really needs is probably his past tax information. You telling me Dennis ain't got no other socks on his feet? Girl, throw that shit in the trash and let's move on. Dennis has a conversation with Mama Gina. To me, this is why I said, to me, the way Dennis is reacting to what I saw, this is not the first time they've been physical. And I think it was the point of Dennis don't care if Porsha beat up on him. They probably have great makeup sex or whatever. Some people like that. Live how you live. I think it was when he went after his mother, that was a line that Porsha crossed, and he wasn't down for that. Mama Gina says they're still in love, and I agree. It's very clear that they still have feelings for each other and that they don't have any closure on their relationship, because even they both admitted just the past Christmas, not this one, but the one before she got engaged, she was asking for her ring back. They were on social media taking family relationship style pictures. And because he didn't give back the ring, she moved on. So they don't have any closure. And they need to let this go. Because Porsha, if you're really going to marry Simon, really, Dennis is going to have other women around, and he's allowed to date. Nice. He not allowed to bring any and everybody around Pilar, but he's allowed to date anybody that he deems serious enough to want to be around his daughter. He has that right. I'm more disturbed, and I've said this multiple times, that Porsha has her 2-year-old daughter around this man that she's known for 1 month, buying houses, moving in, fucking all over. That's my childhood trauma. I don't play with strangers around little kids, especially girls. I have so much concern over why Simon wants to co-parent a 2-year-old that he doesn't even fucking know, with a woman he doesn't even fucking know, why he's so concerned about being a part of her life, and we ain't seen none of his fucking kids. That concerns me, but I'm about to let my trigger go. Let's move on with this review. Dennis then says their family, no matter what fight him and Porsha just got into, if Lauren or Storm was to call him tomorrow and say that they were in need, he would go to running because they were family. That statement threw me, because I'm like, this bitch Storm is the main one who started all the bullshit. She on social media calling you all kind of fucking pedophiles, but you gonna come running if she needs you? Oh yeah, something went down between Dennis and Storm. I don't know what it is, but it ain't no fucking way. That bitch Storm, I would act like she didn't exist. I could see her on fire across the street, and I would not fuck with her no more if I was Dennis. But let's move on. PJ is getting ready to have a surgery. She's getting her tonsils and adenoids taken out. I remember that surgery vividly. My son had the same surgery when he was around 4 years old. So I don't know how it is for a 2-year-old, but my son didn't have to stay in the hospital a couple of days. He went in there. It was an outpatient procedure. As a mom, Even though he was 4, it was the scariest time because that anesthesia, when I tell you my son slept for 24 hours straight, that anesthesia on a little kid, like they couldn't wake him up. And it was so scary because, you know, that's one of the things you have to do to be checked out of an outpatient surgical facility is you have to wake up from that anesthesia. And he would not wake up. And I was like, oh, me and my dad was in there praying. And he finally woke up and he did everything he had to do to be released. And the recovery was easy, you know, a lot of ice cream, popsicles, that kind of stuff. And he just slept 24 hours, but it's a very common surgery. And so that was it. I mentioned that. Was that the end of my notes? Oh, and then Dennis comes up to drop off PJ for the surgery. And the cliffhanger is, will he come in and talk to Porsha? Because Porsha want to know if he want to come in and talk. I would bet 95% Dennis takes his ass in that house. Because like I said, this is something that has happened before. I can guarantee. And he gonna go in that house talking out with Porsha, probably fuck a little bit, you know, off camera. And they about to move on. Next week looks interesting. I'm so happy next week is the last episode because it's not too much more I want to review of this. If they do get a season 2, I'm not watching. Porsha can keep her season 2. And I heard this was supposed to be 10 episodes. So the fact that production cut your episodes into 7 should show you, Porsha, that this is bullshit. And you fucked up. You fucked up, girl. You thought this was the look, but it wasn't. I don't know what you're getting ready to do. Girlfriend, I'm just going to, IIL71, I'm just going to call you girlfriend. If that's okay. But girlfriend, I don't know why the personal assistants were there. Marlon, Porsha is 40 years old, still putting her hands on people on TV, not a good image. I agree. I haven't had a fight since my 20s. I haven't had a fight none in my 30s. I'm 43, and in the past 3 years of my 40s, I ain't had no fight. I ain't never felt the need. Now, sometimes I do want to punch something, kick something. I get angry. I go to a kickboxing class, get it out, but I ain't never felt the need to put hands on anybody. But I'm also 40 years old. I never put myself in a space to disrespect anyone or to get disrespected. I will gladly walk away. My knees ain't built to be fighting the way they out there fighting. Auntie Liz, she was an embarrassment. Auntie Liz said that she was not ready to take over the legacy of her family. Agreed. Porsha's father and grandfather are rolling in their graves. Pilar will need therapy later in life. I 100% agree. But she probably ain't going to get it because her mama ain't got it. Porsha later on, somewhere on Twitter, released this statement. I ain't about to read it all. Y'all can go look on the Bravo Shade Room. It's on Porsha's page and everywhere else on Instagram and Twitter. Well, Porsha claims there were multiple camera angles that were not shot and we didn't see everything that went down in the fight. And I called on my Twitter, I said bullshit. I commented on Twitter, I said bullshit. We seen every angle and view of that fight. The only thing we didn't see is what happened down them stairs with Mama Gina and Porsha. Porsha says she sent the tweet out to her family for them not to speak about it the next day because she was protecting Dennis's image, restaurants, and ultimately her daughter. I got one thing to say to that, Porsha, and then I'm gonna let you go for good, because I ain't never stand for nobody, but I was a Porsha fan and I did enjoy Porsha on Real Housewives of Atlanta at times, but she has completely turned me off. I'm gonna leave this here with you, Porsha, and then I'm through with you. Bitch, you did not publicly check your fucking cousin for calling Dennis a pedophile, someone who sexually assaulted her, sexually harassed her. That shit is more damning than this fight that we could see on the TV. You did not publicly correct or check your cousin for that shit, and you talking about you worried about your daughter's father's reputation, his business. That's the bitch who's trying to destroy his business. And why Storm is on here tearing down his character, she can't even get the definition of pedophile correct. That angered me so bad. You out in fucking Miami on the fucking jet skis. But this week, when your reputation needs to be checked and is damaged, now, oh, well, y'all ain't see everything, and I told them to be quiet because I want to protect my baby daddy. Bitch, go the fuck to hell. And I don't tell nobody to go the fuck to hell. But Porsha, I'm about to let this go. Matter of fact, I might not even review next week. She has ultimately pissed me off. One thing I don't do is I don't play with people calling other people pedophiles, sexual assault, none of that shit. I don't like people throwing that shit out there as a way to get back, because Storm threw that shit out there to get back. And then Porsha, I don't like you trying to gaslight us like we ain't got two motherfucking eyeballs and can't see what the fuck happened on our TV screens. Like, we not all dummies like you. We all paid attention in school, and we all learned how to look, read, and comprehend for ourselves. We don't need no gaslighting lesson. But I'm done, because like I said, it's time for the Alabama-Georgia game. I done talked 15 minutes too long, and now I got to go sit in this long-ass line and get my wings and get my Stella Rose for this game, so that's what I'm getting ready to do. Porsha is a TV personality. She has a lot to lose. She looks stupid out there fighting. I believe she done lost it all. Last night, Porsha lost it all. I don't see anybody else wanting to work with her. Who's about to fly Porsha out on another trip so she can act the fool the way she just acted? Who wants to be in a group scene and have to worry about Porsha and her uncontrollable triggers? And she clearly says, I'm all for the violence. I don't believe in that non-violence, Auntie Liz. Who wants to work with her? The smartest thing Porsha did this week was give Mama Diane her mansion. Because when Simon moves your ass out, probably sometime within 2022, she still got a house to go back to. That's the smartest thing Porsha did all week, is give her mama that mansion. But other than that, she's ruined everything else. And I'm done with Porsha. Y'all like this video. Y'all like this video. I appreciate you all commenting in the chat. If you all are watching this on the rewatch, give me your comments. Let me know what you thought about the foolishness we just viewed with our own eyeballs on the TV screen. I want to know. We'll have a good conversation, a good time in the comments. And if this is your first time with Kiss My Cheeks TV, go ahead and hit subscribe. I review all of the reality shows and all of the competition reality shows. So I'm your girl. Go ahead and hit subscribe and check me out. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you all later. I'm about to get on Twitter and root for Georgia all night. Go Bulldogs. All right, y'all have a good one. Bye.